I knew you'd show up eventually. Pull up that seat by the fire. It's the warmest spot in the house. Get comfortable. We need to have a serious talk because I've been watching you and I'm genuinely worried. I've been worried about you. I see you out there. I see you in the coffee shops, staring at your phone like it's a bomb about to go off. I see the tension in your shoulders. You're 22, maybe 25, maybe pushing 30, and you look tired. You look like you're carrying the weight of the entire world in that backpack of yours. You're playing a game, aren't you? The comparison game. You open Instagram or LinkedIn, and what do you see? You see a kid you sat next to in algebra class just raised $5 million for a startup. Swipe. You see your ex getting engaged in Italy with a ring that costs more than your student loans. Swipe. You see people buying houses, driving Teslas, living this curated, filter-perfect life. And then you put the phone down and you look at your own reality. Maybe you're sitting in a rented bedroom with a roommate you hate. Maybe you just got laid off. Maybe you're staring at a bank account balance that has 2 digits and one of them is a 0. And that voice in your head starts whispering. It says, you're failing, you're behind, you missed the boat. Everyone else has it figured out except you. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now, in and out. Listen to this old man. I'm 72 years old. I've lived through recessions, booms, busts, and wars. And I'm going to tell you something that is going to sound absolutely crazy to you right now. If you are failing today, if you feel lost, if you just crashed and burned, you are the lucky one. I know. You want to yell at me. Lucky? I'm broke, old man. I'm humiliated. I get it. Believe me, I get it. But let me tell you a story. A true story about a version of me that thought he was the king of New York until the crown fell off and crushed him. Let's rewind the tape. 1978. Picture me at 25. I wasn't just confident, I was unbearable. I was a walking ego. I had the degree on the wall, the suit from Brooks Brothers, and a smile that I thought could sell ice to an Eskimo. I had this big idea for an import business. I was convinced I was going to revolutionize the industry. I looked at the old guys doing it, men my age now, and I thought, dinosaurs. They don't get it. I'm the meteor. So, what did I do? I went all in, blindly. I talked my parents' sweet, simple school teachers into refinancing their home to lend me capital. I maxed out every credit card I could get approved for. I leased a sports car I couldn't afford because I thought I needed to look the part to get clients. And for about 6 months, it felt like I was winning. Money was moving. Not profit, mind you, just revenue. But I didn't know the difference. I was taking clients out to steak dinners, buying rounds of drinks, flying first class. I had a girl too, beautiful. We talked about getting married, buying a big colonial house on the hill. I promised her the world. I was building a life. But I wasn't building it on rock. I was building it on sand. I ignored the accounting because numbers were boring. I ignored the warnings from my mentors because they were haters. I was living in a fantasy, and then reality called to collect. The crash didn't happen in a day. It was a slow, agonizing bleed. First, a shipment got stuck in customs. Then a big client refused to pay. Then the bank froze the credit line. I remember the day it ended. A Tuesday, raining. I sat in my office, the office I couldn't pay rent on anymore, and realized I was $50,000 in the hole in the 70 seconds. That was a fortune. That was ruin your life money. I lost everything. The car got repossessed in front of my neighbors. My parents lost a chunk of their retirement savings because of me. The shame of telling them that was worse than death. My girlfriend? She packed her bags while I was out trying to beg for a loan. I came home to an empty closet and a key on the counter. I had nowhere to go. No money for rent. No friends who wanted to be around a loser. So I did the unthinkable. I packed my boxes and moved back into my parents' basement. Have you ever lived in a basement at 25? There is a smell down there. Damp. Musty. It smells like failure. I spent 2 years in that hole. I was too ashamed to get a corporate job. I didn't want anyone to ask me what happened. So, I took a job delivering pizzas at night. I'll never forget one delivery. It was a Friday night. I drove up to this big, beautiful house with a manicured lawn. I rang the bell, holding a large pepperoni pie. The door opened, and it was a guy I went to college with, a guy I used to make fun of for being too safe. He was holding a baby. He looked happy, warm, successful. He looked at me in my grease-stained uniform and said, "Dave, is that you?" I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me whole. I mumbled something, shoved the pizza at him, didn't even wait for the change, and ran back to my rusted-out car. I sat in that car, gripping the steering wheel, and I cried until my throat bled. I screamed at God, "Why me? Why am I such a failure? Why is my life over?" But looking back now, with these 7 two-year-old eyes, I see the truth. That basement wasn't a prison. It was a cocoon. That pizza delivery wasn't a punishment. It was a lesson. You see, failing at 25 is the greatest gift you can ever receive. It's a gift wrapped in sandpaper. It hurts like hell, but it polishes you. First off, it destroyed my ego, and my ego needed to die. I was an arrogant kid who thought the world owed him something. That basement humbled me. It taught me that I wasn't special just because I existed. It taught me that if I wanted to eat, I had to work. It stripped away the vanity and left me with the truth. Second, it taught me empathy. Before the crash, I judged people. If you were poor, I thought you were lazy. If you were struggling, I thought you weren't smart. But after living on tips, after counting pennies to buy gas, I changed. I started to really see people. I looked the janitor in the eye. I tipped the waitress 30% even when I was broke. I understood pain. And let me tell you, empathy is a superpower. Later in life, that ability to connect with people, that's what made me a leader. Not the business degree, the basement. And third, it forced me to find my actual path. In the silence of that basement, I realized I hated the import business. I hated sales. I started writing. I started teaching. I found out I loved helping people learn. If I hadn't crashed, I would have succeeded. Think about that tragedy. I would have spent 40 years trapped in a career I hated, chasing money, miserable but too rich to quit. My failure saved me from the wrong life. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call him Mike. Mike was the golden boy, the eucalyptus tree. You know eucalyptus trees? They grow incredibly fast. They shoot up 20 feet in a year. They look impressive, but their wood is soft. Their roots are shallow. Mike was like that. He got the big job at 22, promoted at 25, millionaire at 30. He never failed, not once. He had the Midas touch. We were all jealous of him. But life always sends a hurricane eventually. Always. For Mike, it came at 55. The market shifted. His company got bought out. For the first time in his entire life, Mike got a pink slip. He got fired, and he shattered. He crumbled like dry leaves. Why? Because he had no antibodies. He had never been sick, so he had no immune system for failure. He didn't know who he was without the fancy title. He didn't know how to start over. He fell into a depression he never crawled out of. He lost his marriage. He lost himself. But me? The guy who crashed at 25? When I hit bumps in the road in my 40 seconds, and believe me, I did. I didn't panic. I looked the problem in the eye and I chuckled. I thought, is this worse than the basement? No. Did I die last time? No. Then I can handle this. Failing young gave me grit. It gave me resilience. It made me an oak tree. I grew slow, sure, but my roots went down deep through the rock. When the storms came, I didn't move. So here we are. If you are sitting there tonight, feeling like a failure, if you just got fired, if your startup just died, if you are sleeping on a mattress on the floor, congratulations. I mean it. You are in the School of Hard Knocks and you are earning your degree. You are paying your tuition now while the stakes are low. You're learning lessons at 25 that most people don't learn until they're 50, and it destroys them. Don't run from the pain. Sit with it. Let it burn away the ego. Let it burn away the comparison. Stop looking at the golden boys on Instagram. They aren't building roots. You are. Use this time. Read, write, think. Figure out who you actually are, not who you think you should be. Call your parents, not to brag, but just to talk. Connect with people. You are not falling behind, kiddo. You are just being forged. You are iron being turned into steel. And one day, I promise you this, one day you're going to sit in a chair like this one. You're going to be old and grey, and you're going to look back at this moment, this dark, painful moment, and you're going to smile. You're going to say, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Now, put the phone down, go get some sleep. The sun's going to come up tomorrow, and you've got work to do. You're going to be just fine.